Hey everyone, it's Sarah Lang, and here is this week's installment of my Sunday video series. My goal of these videos is to help you live a healthier life, whether it has to do with eating better or working out or just fitting a healthy lifestyle into your everyday life. And this week I would like to talk to you about meal prep. And so basically, what is meal prep? It is picking a day out of the week to set yourself up for success. This can include anything from planning out your meals for the week, grocery shopping, and then actually preparing some of the food so that you don't have to spend every night packing your lunch or dinner for the next day. You kind of have an idea of what you're going to be doing that week, and it'll just kind of help you be more prepared. So why do you want to do some meal prep? I have some reasons listed over here. It's going to help save you time, honestly. Even if you have to commit maybe like 2 hours on a Sunday to prepping your meals, in the end, it's going to save you time throughout the week. It's going to save you money. By knowing what you're going to eat and going into the grocery store with a plan, you're going to be able to cut down on impulse buys, and you'll be able to kind of utilize your food more instead of having any go to waste if you know what you're going to be eating. And you're also going to be eating healthier because, let's face it, if you're planning your meals out for the week, you're going to be optimistic and you're going to want to try and do some healthier recipes or just incorporate some more healthy ingredients into your week. So if you plan ahead and then you go get those healthier ingredients and you prepare them, they're going to be more convenient because they're already in your fridge than stopping somewhere, buying fast food, or just picking up an unhealthier option. So how to get started? A lot of people just don't even know where to start with meal prep or meal planning. So my first suggestion is to look at your calendar. This is going to kind of set the tone for your week. So kind of map out your class schedule, your work schedule, any other commitments like meetings or, block out going to the gym or going to get your exercise in. And then you'll kind of see where your busy times are, where it's going to be best to meal plan for, and what days you could actually make your own dinner because you're going to be home for a few hours. Another thing I suggest is looking in your pantry. This is a part where it's going to save you a lot of money in your meal planning. So a lot of times I have lentils or quinoa or other dried beans or just like other things like oatmeal in my pantry already. So it would be a waste of my money to buy other foods like that when I already have them. So what I can do is incorporate things that are already in my pantry into my meal plan, and that's going to save money because I'm utilizing what I already have and what I've already spent money on. So this can help you save money and time and just kind of help your grocery budget. Another thing I suggest is to search for recipes. So if you've eaten what you've always been eating, not a lot's going to change unless you're drastically changing your portion sizes. So look for recipes that put a healthier spin on some of your favorite dishes, or just look for things that are easier to make if you're not a connoisseur in the kitchen. Try something challenging every once in a while just to try something new. It can be exciting, and you might surprise yourself with how good of a chef you actually are. My favorite place to look for recipes is honestly Pinterest or any of the myriad of cookbooks that I own. I have a ridiculous amount, and I try and change up what I'm going to be making that week so that I actually utilize them. What I've talked about a couple times already is making a grocery list. So depending on how many meals you're going to need to make ahead of time, what your schedule is like, and basically on your meal plan, that you can take your meal plan and then write out exactly what you're going to need from the grocery store. And like I said, that'll cut down on impulse buys, things that you don't need, or just having too much food in general. Who's bought like a huge thing of, spinach or I don't know, other vegetables, then you don't cook them, and then they sit there, and then they go bad a week or two later. And that's wasted money right there. So when it's in your meal plan, you know how much you need, and you just buy as much as you need. And then when you get back from grocery shopping, what you can do is make, kind of like sort your food. So instead of putting it all away and then having to go back and search for what you bought at the grocery store, you can kind of be like, okay, this is going to go in the freezer, but I might do some preparation with it. So I'll leave it on the counter. Maybe leave out some of the dried goods that you're going to cook ahead of time. Maybe leave out some of the vegetables or the fruit that you want to get ready for meals or snacks that week. And then stuff you're not going to make right away. Certain things don't prepare well, and you might need to do those things more on the spot, whereas certain things will last you all week if you prepare them ahead of time. So kind of sort what you're going to make now. So say you go grocery shopping on Sunday and you've allotted yourself like an hour and a half to do some food prep. Leave the stuff out on the counter that you're going to prepare and then put away the stuff that you're not. So it'll help keep you organized. And then what can you meal prep? Some of my best suggestions would be to wash and cut ahead some fruits and vegetables. So say you buy a whole pineapple, how long is that thing going to sit on the counter? And you look at it every day like, oh, I should really cut that thing up. Cut it up and then have it ready for snacks, and you'll be reaching for the pineapple instead of reaching for potato chips. You can cut up celery, cucumbers, strawberries. You can wash your grapes, wash your berries, and just have them ready, because how many times have you like had, you know, a crunch for time in the morning, you have 5 minutes and you're just throwing in whatever you can for your lunchbox. If your berries and stuff aren't washed, are you going to avoid that because you know they might still have pesticides and junk all over them? You might. So if you have things washed and ready, you're going to just grab that Ziploc or grab that Tupperware container and you're good to go. Another great thing you can do ahead of time is to bake or cook any of your proteins or grill or whatever you like to do. Obviously, you guys know I don't eat meat, so I do a lot of like tofu, tempeh. I cook beans, I cook lentils, I cook other plant-based sources of protein. But if you do eat like chicken or turkey, go for that organic, free-range, to avoid antibiotics, pesticides, any growth hormones they might be giving the animals. Just watch the meat that you buy and be aware of where it's coming from. But those are all choices that you can make ahead of time. And then instead of spending your morning when you could be eating breakfast or taking a shower, you can just throw whatever you have prepared on top of a salad and a wrap, or just kind of as part of your meal. And having that ready is going to help you have that healthier choice there. Another thing I do is cook grains. So like I mentioned, I always make lentils, or quinoa is another great choice. Brown rice is good. I've heard black rice is delicious as well, and it's a great source of complex carbohydrates. Maybe cook some sweet potatoes ahead of time. Just think of your food groups and think what you could prepare from each of them, so you have a variety of foods ready, and you know, you're not just eating all carbohydrates, but you have some vegetables, you have some protein, and you can pair it together to make a nice meal. It doesn't have to be a recipe. You just throw some brown rice with some sweet potato and some tofu, and you're good to go. Another thing that I haven't done personally, but I hear is very popular, is to actually prep your smoothie ingredients. So say you want to make a green smoothie. Take a plastic baggie, throw some spinach or kale in the bottom, throw some frozen berries in the middle, and then maybe throw some like chia seeds or other kind of things you want to put in your smoothie, and seal it up and throw it in the freezer. And then when you're going to make your smoothie in the morning, all you have to do is add your liquid into the bottom of your blender, say water, almond milk, soy milk, coconut water, and then dump your little baggie of prepackaged smoothie ingredients and blend, and you're good to go. And you have a really healthy meal option on the go. I'm a huge fan of smoothies. I have a superfood shake every morning, and that's a little easier. That's why I don't really do this, because I pretty much have everything I need in that one scoop of the shake that I use, but that is a good option. And then another popular thing is mason jars. You can use those to make oats or salads, which they both might sound kind of weird if you've never done it before, but you can actually put oatmeal with almond milk and different ingredients like fruit, chia seeds again, or just other ingredients, and you just kind of you stir it up in the mason jar and you put it in the fridge overnight. And the way that the oats absorb the liquid, that actually makes it so you don't even have to cook them, because they kind of soften up and you're able to just eat them cold, or you can heat it up depending on your preference. And then salads are really interesting. You can just put a little bit of, say, like balsamic vinaigrette or apple cider vinegar or whatever you want to use as dressing at the bottom. Then throw in your greens and then cut up veggies like bell pepper, mushrooms, celery, cucumbers, onion, and you just kind of layer it. And then you can take the mason jar and you just flip it upside down and dump it into a bowl, and you have your salad. And I hear they actually keep really well in the fridge, so you can make like 3 or 4 of those, and then you have salads for the week. So I think that's a really good idea that I want to start doing. So basically, my point for meal prep and meal planning is to organize yourself. So know what your week's going to be like, know what you have in your pantry, and know what you need to go out and buy, and then execute your plan. So a well-made plan isn't going to really do you any good if it doesn't get put into action. And that's my biggest thing with living a healthier life, is that you can plan and overthink all you want, but until you just try, like, nothing has to be perfect. You'll learn as you go along. As long as you put yourself out there and just get going on your goals, you'll get closer to them than if you just hang back and wait for the perfect moment, the new week, the new month. Just get started. And I would love to hear what questions you guys have in the comments, what suggestions you have for next week's video, and what you're going to try and meal prep this week. So comment below and let me know what you're going to do. Thanks for listening.